I come home for Christmas when I'm 19, and my mom declares that I'm old enough to go to the gynecologist for the first time. I reluctantly agree to go. Marissa Davis? I jump to attention and grab my bag when my name is called. My mother looks at me, asking with her eyes if I want her to come in. I'll be fine, I say, following the nurse into the exam room where I'm handed a paper gown and told to undress. All I can hear is my breath and the rustle of the itchy paper gown in the sterile room, surrounded by posters about birth control and the Gardasil shot. In walks Dr. Carey after 2 half-assed knocks. Her failed attempt at red hair hangs miserably by her shoulders, an image I'll never forget no matter how much I want to. So, what brings you here today? She asks as if it's a mystery, like I'm a suspect who's supposed to be helping her crack the case. I'm here for a pap smear and an annual exam. I wring my hands, uncertain if I'm even using the correct terminology. Great, she says. When was the date of your last period? Oh shit, am I supposed to know that? November something, I tell her. And are you sexually active? I have been, I reply tentatively. And what kind of birth control did you use? None. Then I see it. The look. It manifests on her face, as it will on the face of nearly every gynecologist I see for the next 10 years as a gay woman. The look. Empty and confused. A dead giveaway that she has no context for women other than their proximity to men. She's overcome with proverbial head scratching as the look hangs heavy in the air, waiting for me to fill in the blanks. I begin to lose my verbal footing. Oh, it's okay. I've heard plenty of weird stuff before, Dr. Carey says. Here it comes. I have to come out to my doctor. Coming out has historically been a point of anxiety. As I sit in my crinkly paper gown, I reflect back to when I'm 16 and I just came out to my mother. Not because I want to, but because I need to be comforted. My girlfriend, who I've been keeping a secret from all but 2 close friends and my chorus teacher, broke up with me via text. I've never experienced heartbreak so painful, and I need my mom. Mom, I whisper. What's wrong? She replies, jolted awake. The words shoot out of my mouth. Okay, so Danielle and I have been dating for a few months, and I'm gay, and she just broke up with me because she thinks maybe she doesn't like girls and she doesn't love me anymore, and I knew it, she says curtly. I knew it was going on and I should have stopped it. Oh God, where did I go wrong? She asks the sky. I try to interject, but she presses on. You're not going to see her anymore, do you understand me? She is never coming over ever again. Oh, Marissa, this will kill your grandmother. You're going to break your poor father's heart. Her rant continues on, and she even throws in one last jab, saying she will make me go to a community college close to home so that she can keep her eye on me. She looks at me and asks, "Did you have sex with her?" The thought of losing my chance at freedom scares me more than anything. I realize that my only choice is to lie. No, I say sternly. I do eventually end up going away for school, living my secret, authentic life 2.5 hours away in Rochester, New York. But my mother's threats sustain my silence, and we don't discuss my sexuality again for 8 years. Will I face the same mistreatment during this exam if I come out? Coming out is what's best for my sexual health, right? This woman is a doctor. She isn't allowed to reject me, right? I don't have sex with men, I finally say. Dr. Carey's face contorts, morphing from the look to something more familiar. Disgust. So why are we even doing this exam? She asks. At first, I'm caught off guard, nearly shocked into submission. But then a steady voice in my head compels me to speak. Well, it's important for me to make sure I'm healthy and don't have STDs or HPV. She cuts me off, shaking her head. HPV is spread by men, so you don't have anything to worry about. I tell her that if I've had sex with a woman who's had sex with men, I could be at risk, which is especially important considering my ex-girlfriend has been with guys before and during our relationship. Dr. Carey dismisses me again and asks for specific details about my sexual activity, unable to conceptualize what two women would even do together. Listen, she says, plopping herself down on her rolling stool. It's not really necessary to do this because you haven't had much sexual activity anyway, but if the same-sex thing ever changes, which, it could, then we can try it again. It won't, I state firmly. I reach for my clothes, relieved, until I remember that my mother is still in the waiting room. What will I say when she asks how it went? I've perfected my ability to lie in the last 3 years, but I am not properly armed to do so about a non-existent pap smear. I begin to beg this woman who has already shamed and humiliated me to invade my body, all so that I don't have to risk giving myself away. She begrudgingly has me scoot to the end of the exam table, but I'm so shaken that my body recoils from her touch and rejects the metal speculum. She tells me to get dressed and come back when I'm 22. I retreat to the privacy of my bedroom when we get home, a wave of anger washing over me. There's no place to express my outrage, so I impulsively draft a letter to the lesbian media website After Ellen about my encounter. I'm able to express myself by writing down what I didn't have the courage to say to Dr. Carey's face, like, "Pardon you, Dr. Carey, what exactly do you mean by why are we even doing this exam? We're doing it because I am a woman who may be at risk for STDs or HPV or other health problems. Just because I don't have sex with men does not mean that I am not at risk." However, I also find myself making statements of great importance, like, get the facts and don't be afraid to stand up for your health when faced with ignorance. Educate the uneducated. Do not let discrimination stand in the way of the health care that you deserve. I'm surprised at how well I'm able to articulate how poorly I was treated, sarcasm and all. For years, I dream of an alternate version of this story, where I walk out of the gynecologist's office and tell my mother the truth. One where she storms back to the exam room and annihilates Dr. Carey. One where there is a clear and present ally. I can't change the past, but I can create a future where my voice is heard and I help amplify the voices of others. Writing sarcastic letters to lesbian media outlets was just the beginning of understanding that I have the ability to write a more empowered future for myself. No more uncomfortable gyno visits or visits home or having my partner referred to as my friend. It may not always be obvious who it is safe to be myself around, but now I know how to be that person for others. I can show up as that clear and present ally for the people I love and for myself.
Yes. Yes. Yes.